Welcome home, Cojourners. I'm glad you're here for another episode. I'm Dr.Thema, licensed psychologist, ordained minister, and sacred artist, here to help facilitate your journey back home to yourself. And I am so excited on today as we talk about the poetry of the journey home, that we have our special guest, phenomenal, incredible sister poet, Aja Monet, and I'm going to tell you a bit about her. Aja Monet is a Grammy-nominated Surrealist Blues Poet and cultural worker whose artistry transcends boundaries. As the recipient of the Nuyorican Grand Slam Poetry title, Aja Monet first made her mark in New York's Lower East Side, honing her voice and craft on the storied stage of a burgeoning poetry movement. She follows in the long legacy and tradition of poets participating and assembling in social movements. Her collaborative spirit has seen her shape and shift culture alongside internationally renowned artists, scholars, activists, and organizers. Aja's first full collection of poems, My Mother Was a Freedom Fighter, is a powerful tribute to mothers. And you all know we often talk about mothers on this show. Women and girls striving for freedom, earning a nomination for an NAACP Image Award for poetry in 2018. Her debut poetry album, Amazing, When the Poems Do What They Do, was nominated, y'all aren't ready for this, was nominated for a Grammy Best Spoken Word Poetry Album in 2024. The album explores themes of resistance, love, and the inexhaustible quest for joy. Yes. Awarded the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Award for Poetry, the Nelson Mandela Changemaker Award, the Harry Belafonte Voices for Social Justice Award, the Ebony 100 Artists in Residence Award, and the Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz Vanguard Award. Aja also serves as the Artistic Creative Director for V-Day, a global movement to end violence against women and girls. In 2022, she created Voices, an audio play amplifying the stories of Black women across the diaspora and the African continent. Aja Monet released, come on, y'all, her latest book of poems, Florida Water. You need to get it right now. You need to pause and just get it right now and then come back with Haymarket Books on June 3rd, 2025, and is currently working on her second studio album. She is a gifted voice for this time and beyond this time. This is sacred work. It is medicine work. It is rallying work. It is cleansing work. And we are grateful for what you do and who you are. Welcome, Aja Monet.
Thank you. Oh, being here with you is so special, so thank you.
Thank you. It means so much. First of all, I'm glad you're in LA, that you could come in the studio.
Me too.
And we usually start with a poem.
Okay.
And so instead of me reading one of your poems, I've marked many pages, I would like to ask if you would start us off by reading one of your pieces.
Okay, since you asked, I'm going to just read the I Am.
Excellent. Thank you.
This poem is also the opening poem on the album, When the Poems Do What They Do. And it was written while I was in Florida, so that's why I decided to share it here in this book. Mm-hmm. I am a flower pot sitting on the subway platform dreaming of a southern sky. Mm-hmm. I am the southern sky, bruised hues of blues in inner city with an oceanfront view. A Holy Ghost tongue possessed between the pews, sleepless in the twilight. A vision board, invisible to eyesight. Loose hips humming under summer porch lights. I'm the djembe drum, rhythm spun between love-drunk knees. I'm a runaway river, a sawed-off shotgun creeping through the leaves, a kiss that quivers, a machete that bleeds. I'm the bananas on Josephine's skirt, a brown liquor flirt, the gardenia in Billie Holiday's hair. I'm a blues song in a cigarette's glare, a beaded Zulu hat on Makiba's head, Bob Marley's lock, a natty dread. I am Marcus Garvey's last microphone, ancient lady of grace, Nefertiti's royal throne. I'm a poem handwritten by La Lupe on the Malecon. I'm a grassroots meeting of Orishas in the basement of a brownstone, a homegirl, homegrown in magic, a mermaid of memory swimming through tragic times. I'm the one that got away. I'm the love I never had, a cipher of butterfly wings. I'm a little girl who had big dreams and prayers in my mother's purse. I'm the color of Saturday bouncing off the walls. I drizzle in the wind like a sun shower shawl. I'm the final hour before the moon rests. I'm what a day looks like, honest and undressed. I'm la cascarilla on the door, windows, and vents, a protector of realms. I'm a Bwiti shaman who ascends. I am the mirror, the root, and the end.
Woo! Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. All of that. And, you know, that piece really calls to me because often when we think about identity, we think about it like singular. And one of the points you make in the piece is that it is perpetually shifting and it's layered. And so to claim all of the different parts of ourselves, and you mention being the girl, like who is now the woman. So tell us about how, and you mentioned your mom in there, but how you came to be at home with your layers.
Ooh, I think it's not a destination. It's something that you constantly are moving through, because so long as you're living, I think the hope is that you're growing and that you're changing and you're seeing the dimensions to yourself in relationship to the world. And so I think that as you move through the world, you tend to come to terms with different parts of yourself and the many phases that, you know, develop over time. I think also, I don't know about you, but I think as I'm aging as a woman, you know, someone who identifies as a woman, I think what I'm learning is that there is so much that I held on to about what I thought that meant, or what I thought it was supposed to mean.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of shedding takes place. And you learn to incorporate the multiplicity, you know, that you're not one thing. What's hard is that we're such an image-based culture.
Yeah.
And so everything is about, I mean, that's why we did the audio play that I've been working on with V-Day, which is, it's to get people to listen to the voices of Black women and not just objectify us, where a whole bunch of assumptions are made based off our hair color, our texture, our skin, you know, our body type, et cetera, that the body is an entry point into our experience, but it's not the totality of who we are.
Yeah.
So I think coming to terms with that interior landscape is a huge part of the role of the poet. Yeah. And I think that that's where I've been able to find agency in myself.
I love that piece of it being ongoing, but also like the shedding, because so in psychology they have the ideal self and the actual self. And then, you know, we talk about how do you cope with the discrepancy, the difference between like, you know, I thought a woman this or a Black woman this, and like, and here I am. So like, what does that mean? And that some of it means like, I gotta shed that's not actually it, right? And so one of the pieces that you start with is the quote, which I love, Tony Cade Bambara, "Are you sure, sweetheart, that you want to be well?" And I think about that fact that it not being trifling, but also sometimes we haven't told ourselves the truth, that being, you know, we say we want wellness or wholeness, all the things we say. What do you think is the cost, or what has it cost you to be intentional about your wellness?
I think the biggest thing is you learn is to let go of the person you thought you were and the things you allowed, you know, the things you accepted that become unacceptable as you have to move forward and make better decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's so fascinating. That's why I'm like, oh, I wish we had so much time to talk, because I want to talk more with you about this. But I think especially within our movements, our social movements, and this current political climate, we don't talk enough about the behavioral sciences and how psychology really shows up in the decisions we make and the ideas we tend to have about what is right and what is wrong and how things should be organized, how society should be organized. And so we come to these things sometimes with like this very, rhetorical romanticization of what we think is right or we think ought to be. But we don't come to terms with like, how are people? Yeah. How do people move? Like, what are people like? What are our tendencies?
Yes.
How does our environment impact our decisions? How does our upbringing impact our ideas about ourselves? All these things are coloring who you are. And so I think for me, you got to come to terms with the parts of you that you have to let go of and the ideas you have about what something ought to be, because everything is it is shifting, so to speak. It's in constant flux.
Right.
So it's good to have some sort of values. I think having values and being guided by those values are really important. But I had to come to terms with, as you get older, you recognize you don't have as much energy as you used to, and things change. Your body, your capacity for certain things. So you learn to you got to get real about with yourself. You hope you get to a place where you get real with yourself about what it is that you actually need and what's worth your time, because you recognize time is fleeting often.
Yes.
So the longer you're here, I think there's a lot of wisdom to be gained from our elders as much as there is from children.
Yeah.
Because they're not jaded by the conditions of society. So I think that's where I find myself mostly now. It's like,
I love that piece of letting go of our former self, because often we think whether I should let go of people or positions, but like my former self. And in the book, you have a poem about a prior relationship, the relationship that had led you to live in Florida. And what I appreciated was you said, it was revolutionary love, right? It was all that until it wasn't. That's the line, until it wasn't. I'm like, you better come on. Yes, it was magnificent until it wasn't. And then saying, for yourself that you had accepted some things more than you would like to imagine or to recognize. And so, it could have been slow or sudden, but what was your awakening that it no longer was for you?
I think, when you talk about letting go of a certain self or selves or a place in your life, I think it's never that you are a different person or that you're no longer who you've always been. But I think what happens is that you remember yourself,
Yes.
And there are things that when I look back at that relationship or I look at other relationships, friendships or otherwise, familiar relationships, that really caused harm or trauma or there was difficulty, a lot of the times it brought me out of character. Like I could remember certain parts of myself that I look back and I say, wow, that's not the person I wanted to be. That's not how I wanted to show up. That's not how I wanted to move through the world.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that wasn't normal until I felt love, real love, that then allowed me to really show up as my full whole self.
Yes.
That I didn't have to compromise or negotiate or apologize for the many dimensions to myself. And a lot of people talk about being unapologetic, but it's not necessarily that you don't have consideration for how you move or how you interact or how you relate. Like you should always have some level of home training, you know what I mean, about how you deal with people, how you treat people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was the limitations I put on myself that I had to let go of, and the conditions and the constraints. And I found that I was contorting and trying to always fit into somebody else's expectations of what they thought was equitable or was just or was right or was, we were in a movement relationship. And when I say that, I mean like we were immersed completely within how are we going to better our society, our community, and do things in real time. I mean, it was in our home. Our home was an organizing space, you know, and that was beautiful for a lot of the time that we experienced it.
Yeah.
But if you don't recognize, we always say in organizing, you know, the fundamentals is relationships. So, you know, people will be having certain organizers have one-on-ones and like talking to community members and trying to understand what their concerns are and how we solve them and how we deal with them.
Yeah.
But if you can't be one-on-one with the person you go home to, you know, or the people that are closest to you, you can't have real honest conversations about the limitations and the frustrations of it, you know, and where we can grow and where we can evolve together and what things we need to develop and work on and all those things. If you can't be honest and real with that, then I think at the end of the day, everything you do is a lie, you know, to some degree. It's not coming from a true place. And so I think things were eating at us from the outside and from within.
Yeah.
And there was, you know, patriarchy does a number on all of us, men, women, and others, you know, theys and thems as well. Like it's just, it does a number on our relationships and the way we see them and what we see as being worthy and of value. And productivity tends to be the metric a lot of people have about whether or not they're living a righteous or good or, you know, I don't know, effective life. So there was many things that ate at us. And eventually the day that we ended up breaking up was the day that George Floyd was murdered. And I think a big part of that was we had already had discussions of seeing shifts in how I felt towards my treatment, you know, how I felt towards the way we were approaching this union, this collaboration, you know. And at some point you get to a place where you have to really face yourself, you know, and the decisions you made. And so I don't blame anyone for the things that I've had to go through. I have to take responsibility at some point. And that was the hardest thing to do. Like, wow, I chose to be in this relationship. I chose to deal with someone who treated me this way or that way. And that's not what I actually want. And that's not what I deserve, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not what I'm putting in or pouring into this. So I think at some point, you can't be preaching about love and not feel it in your day-to-day. You know? You can't be seeking to create love and foster love in your community and your society without having a deep, profound love and respect for the person you lay up with, you know? So the hypocriticalness, the hypocrisy of it all started to weigh on me. And I remember like us going through a really hard discussion about whether or not we were going to try to save this thing. And that person was able to go online and talk to the world about what was going on as if...
With you all?
No,
the world, they were talking about
with the movement, with the issues of the day, whatever, you know. George Floyd was just murdered, so there was an expectation that movement folks would be speaking and addressing and know what to say in the moment for our people. But I was the one behind the scenes witnessing a different kind of grief, you know. There was a multi-dimensional grief that I think I experienced. And it's, it's hard to kind of come to terms with when you're in it. You need the distance, you know?
Yeah. I so appreciate you sharing that because for multiple reasons, but one of them being, people always say relationships are work, which they are, but there can be a way in which it's not work, it's erasure, right? Or it's not just that we're working on it. It's like I'm losing myself or losing sight of myself. And that at any moment, you know, when that comes to you, and as you described it, it was like a process, like, you know, an awakening of like, oh, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Right? And I need to make a different choice, which starts with that choosing me and loving me.
Yeah, because I think I was choosing that partnership so much more than I chose myself.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, oh, you don't want to choose. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think love is a choice, you know, and it's a decision. I think love is certain. Love isn't unsure. It's very sure.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've experienced it, you know?
Yes.
And I think whenever you're in a situation where someone is moving from a place of doubt or fear, that's not love, you know? So when someone isn't choosing you back, you have to choose yourself.
Yes.
And do whatever it requires, you know.
To choose you.
Yeah.
And you know, I love your testimony, revelation, that you discovered it exists, that it's possible, right? Because some people, I think, grab hold because of like thinking I'm asking too much, that I'm imagining something that's mythical that doesn't exist.
Oh, for a long time I felt that way.
Yeah.
For a long time I thought, oh, like, you know, is this real? Is it possible? Is a love that loves you back gonna exist?
Yeah.
You know, am I too much? Am I asking for too much? And then you have this kind of, you know, we adapt. Humans, we adapt. So you make sense of it and you say, well, you know, maybe I'm not too much, but I'm enough for me, you know.
Right, it'll just be me.
It'll just be me out here.
Be in my books, yes.
And I don't, you know, I know that that's a narrative that is being prescribed in the world, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe that we are individualistic creatures, you know, just from the nature of having moved in the world in this body as a woman and being raised by other people who have moved in the world, identifying as a woman. Like, there is something to the necessity for nurturing and reciprocity in that nurturing. And, you know, a child cannot survive alone, you know. A baby cannot survive by itself just with no consideration, no care, no protection, no devotion, no consideration. Yeah, it's just not, I don't know that to be true. And I think after, when I actually met with a therapist and had the ability to discuss, because I realized, no, this is intense. There's a lot that's coming up for me from childhood, from upbringing. Then you start to realize, like, oh no, that's why I think I thought this way and I felt like I could
where this script
cope.
come from.
Yeah, that's the script I've been reciting to all my life. Right. And wait, actually I did pretty good considering, you know? Like, I think not having my parents in my life and and having to create that sort of mentorship for myself to find it in others is a huge part of my narrative as well. Yeah. You know,
so the script would have been, I can figure it out, or I have to make it work, or I have to earn love.
Earn love. Yeah. Ooh, I'm one of them earn love type of girls.
Yes, it's like, I remember myself, because I'll lose myself trying to earn your love.
Oh my God. The lengths that I've gone to earn some love.
Yeah. You know, we grieve for that girl, we grieve for that woman, and all the folks who are doing that, right? Even and while we even give ourselves grace and compassion, like, you understand how you landed there, but definitely, like, don't want to keep living there.
No. I mean, it's really beautiful to be in partnership with someone right now who I feel like I'm enough, you know? There's nothing that I will do that will make it so that I'm not worthy of their love or their grace and compassion and consideration and tenderness, you know, because I'm
enough.
A strong, assertive, outspoken woman, but to be for that to be enough, for it not to be too much, and for someone to not be threatened, to not feel discouraged by that, but to be encouraged and inspired by that. I think that's not easy to find, you know.
Right. No, it's not, but worth it. But worth it.
Yeah.
Now, I marked all these things, but we have talked, so I'm going to ask if your last piece, if we could read for the closing, say it with your chest.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be on the next record, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm picking 2 for 2.
Yeah, you are. Say it with your chest. Whatever touches your heart, feed, fuel, fight for it. Flower, heal, hold, help, have, honor it. Whatever touches your heart. Promise, hope, hell, and high water. Wade with it. Shield, protect, keep it sacred. Whatever. Whatever, ever, what? Whatever touches your heart, a future inevitable as hurt, let it wind through you, be fiercely undone. Bold, brave, and bellowing, elbow, ankle, shoulder your way, will it as so. Whatever it may be that fires the engine of your chest, sprawls open your thoughts of you, unminded and moved, let it be. Let it silly shame and show you out. Remember when before memory made you in the nameless nothing of now? Let light lead you into the darling darkness of not knowing, yet to know what it is to feel alive, living, whatever it may be that touches your heart, that vibrating, hungry, heavy-handed heart, let it be luminous. Unleash the firefly eager to be held. Let it be.
Let it be luminous. Yes, yes, yes. Remember yourselves. We remember ourselves, and we remember authentic love as we come home to ourselves. Thank you so much for being with us. I have to hold it up again for Florida Water. You all need to get it today. I invite your soul to tell your heart, mind, body, and spirit, welcome home.